Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to my channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, roles could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates. Also, know in this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading, so I look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blockages, the shadows, to see how they play out as karmic themes, help you understand why everything's playing out the way that it is. Again, when you're dealing with the karmic, they like to keep you stuck, ruminating. They want to make you emotional. They want to keep you stuck, because it makes them feel good, right? Again, when you're dealing with a karmic mate, they're coming into your life to teach you about you, really, what needs to be healed within you a lot of times. But there's many different realities that played at one time. So depending on what you do is going to be your karma. So understanding again, everything from a spiritual perspective allows you to avoid negative karmic consequences, which is huge when you have a business or when you are have children or when you have other things, because what you see is a lot of times when you're connected to a karmic, and if they're not somebody that is on their healing journey, meaning they don't want to heal, they don't think that there's anything wrong, but they're always coming from that wounded place, what you'll notice is what you love that's in your life you wind up losing, because the significance is learning about love. It's about learning what love is, and it starts with you learning like what that is by how you treat yourself, whether you love yourself. People that don't love themselves can't love someone else. They can only love to their capacity, and it has nothing to do with you. And a lot of times it doesn't start that that person says, "Well, I don't really have love." What it is that person is in lust, and they confuse lust for love. There's a spiritual connection, and that spiritual connection is really strong. It's a chemistry. You were with this person in a previous life, or there's so much commonality sometimes, meaning the way that you grew up, where there's other elements that make you feel tied to this person. So again, looking at things from a spiritual perspective is really going to help you heal. Okay, anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you know where to find it. It's in the description box. Check out the Otter Spirit bracelets. Again, I'm wearing some grounding. I'm wearing a little bit of everything today. I wanted to wear pyrite, citrine, watermelon chalcite, my favorite, and then there's the rose quartz jasmine, which I love too, because it reminds me of the cherry blossom trees, right? So what we have here is a combo, but you get to mix and match, and you get 35% off, if you order during Christmas by just again using the link that's in the description box. All right. Let's see. Let's see what the underlining energy is. I'm going to use a totally different deck to see what's going on. Well, I'm going to pull three. Let's see. Mm. Your person was on their way back to you, is what I'm feeling. It's like, but they got delayed, and they're delayed because, again, I feel like they either lost their job, there's some sort of downfall within this person, like where it's not like they just lost their house or they lost their business, but they're being mocked, they're being humiliated. So I feel like that you're connected to somebody that was on their way back to fix this. And I say that because of purify, right? They wanted to, but what happened is the delay again is the fact that this person is, again, they're in a situation where they're they're like, I feel like they don't have control over their life. So if they had a business, they lost their business. If they had a house, and again, that they lost it, that like they've lost everything. So this is not something that they, it really saw coming to them, is what I feel like is kind of coming to the blue. So the underlining energy is the fact that this person feels like they should have came back a lot sooner. But obviously, that what this person is dealing with is that it's like they're dealing with this, yeah, like they lost their home, their emptiness. They like it's the ending of, so they could have been in a relationship with somebody and it didn't work. They could have been in a business with people and it didn't work. It's the ending of a life as they knew it, but they did not know that it was going to be the end of their this life per se that they were in, is what I feel like. It happened like where, like, it was not just one person that turned on them. It was a lot of person. It came out of nowhere, right? That's what it is. Came out of nowhere, and now this person doesn't really have anywhere to go. So the people that are surrounding them, that used to support them, that used to care about them. And this could be their family, it could have been a karmic, and if this person was married before, it could be them. It's the end of a life as they know it. But they were on their way back, and this person, I feel like whoever was it connected to them knew that they wanted to come back to you. They might not know that it's you who, but they knew that this person did not want to stay. And I feel like what happened is that that person pulled the rug out from underneath them, and now they're in a really like difficult situation where again this person wanted to come back and again and ask for forgiveness, make amends, because what happened is that they were connected to someone else, and I feel like this person wasn't doing anything with that person. They were like kind of like, I'm waiting for this person to dump me. I'm waiting for this person to leave me. I'm waiting for this person to be the one that pulls the plug on the connection. And what happened is that the karmic never did. But the karmic also knew, well, you're not giving in to me. Normally by now you would give in to me. And so again, on some level, the karmic intuitively said, well, you're not giving to me, you're going somewhere else to get to give to, and I'll be damned. So this karmic, I feel like, couldn't control your person after a while, so they got other people involved. And those people were people that, owned something with this person, worked with this person. So really what it is, it's like this for a long time, your person was putting up with it, and so what happened is that your person stood up for themselves, said that they were going to leave, and what wound up happening is that because they threatened to move on, like I said, and leave, the karmic like did what they knew how to do, which is just create a lot of havoc, a lot of havoc in this person's life. Where to the point that your person doesn't feel well now. They're sick, like they could have a stomach issue, like heart issues. And the reason why is because that karmic's creating a lot of issues, saying, well, if you're going to leave me, you're going to leave with a lot of baggage, and so that's the thing. So your person thought that they would come back like now, and what they're seeing is they're probably not going to make it back until like around the spring. But during this time of separation, what they're realizing, that you're their soulmate. And that's the thing, that there is a sense of seeing things from a different, higher perspective. And I feel like that higher perspective is the fact that this person didn't really know what they wanted, and they needed to go through that situation in order to see what they wanted. And so, you know, um, where now it's like this person, like I said, I feel like at one time you might have offered to hang out with them, and so they didn't act on that. And they're hoping that you're gonna offer to like hang out with them again, that because they would definitely accept it. Thing is that this person also feels like them coming back into your life is not going to be an easy thing because they feel like you're going to like tell them off, that you're going to like say something that's really going to hurt them. So the underlining energy is that this person was on their way back to you, but I feel like, you know, this karmic kind of did you a favor because the karmic still connected to them the whole time. It's like the karmic exposed themselves because, wanting to control, wanting to you know, to like control it. What happened is it's like now your person is in a place of feeling exhausted, and where for a long time it was like it was easy for this person, to stay connected to that karmic because again of family patterns. It's like you stay with somebody that you don't not really in love with and you make it work. But the thing is, this person's exhausted. It's like where it's like now they feel like again their connection to you is long overdue, that they should have come back. They should have come back this winter, is what I'm feeling, because they wanted to come back now. And so, at this point, this person is, like I said, they're just feeling like very drained and they're feeling as if, you know, um, they're going to do whatever it takes to come back because again the endurance is that it's like this person wants to do that, but I feel like they don't really know where you are. It's just what they're realizing is they stayed connected to somebody that was okay, that they stayed connected to for a long time, and what happened is I feel like that karmic exposed themselves because they got so mad in not being able to manipulate your person from moving on that they brought in other people and it created a lot of tower moments in this person's life. So now they're held up where it's again they're tired, they're exhausted, they feel like again that they maybe that even when they get out of this that they're going to need to take some time to rest when really they wasted enough time, and they know it, but it's like that's the thing, and this person feels like you pulling away and it triggers them that you're going to leave them for good. So I feel like the more time that this person waits, the more that's going to happen, that you're not going to stay because they've been like trapped in a connection, or so they would like to make it seem, like they were trapped in that situation, which that's not true. They wanted that karmic to pull the plug on it, and that's the thing. They didn't, that karmic knew exactly what they were doing. And they said, well, like this person saying, I'm realizing the connection is something worth special, and that they want to let their guard down sometimes, but they lash out. So, like I said, it's like I feel like they needed to go through this experience in order to see that the karmic exposed themselves, number one, because now this person, like I said, doesn't, they're not going to have what they had when they come back. They're not going to even be the same person because there was public scrutiny. This person was mocked. They were, this public dishonor. It's that everybody saw it. It's, that this person doesn't have anywhere to run. So they're kind of, they're again not coming back the same person who they were. And so there were specific, patterns that you both need to really clear from your ancestral bloodline. But we can see again, it comes up where this person had grew up in a certain environment of saying you just stayed in a relationship, whether it was good or bad, and that's what happened. So, you know, now it's like I said, I feel like they could be in a relationship that like that until they like met you. They've always felt like, you know, that they have a higher calling of life, and that there's a part of you that brings them more clarity about that. So like you're allowing this person to be themselves, where I feel like what they see is that that karmic is so controlling, putting obstacle in obstacle to the point that the karmic exposed himself, that this person is like, you know what, I always felt like I had bigger things to do in life. And and I feel like either bring that out in them because of the way that you live, or it's something that you're doing. So it's again bringing them like healing, a lot of healing. But the thing is, they want to talk to you, but they're not sure that they're ready to share everything and give you the answers that you deserve. And the answers that you deserve is, this person did not know what they wanted. It was like they stayed in a connection with somebody that, you know, they expected them to pull the plug. They also expected you to react. They thought that everybody else was going to do the work for them because they didn't really know what they wanted to do. They stayed connected to that karmic, didn't give anything to that karmic. They stayed connected to you, did not give you anything. They figured eventually somebody else would make the decision for them. No one made the decision for them. That karmic's pissed because the karmic knows, oh, as soon as I don't talk to you, I know you're going to run somewhere. So what it is that karmic wanted to influence you. Also, be like, I'm going to piss you off because this person's going to take their sweet ass time in getting back to you. And, the only thing that this karmic could do was put obstacle and obstacle and obstacle. But to the point that the mask of that karmic fell off. Because I think that part of the confusion was that this person was like, well, I thought that the karmic really had feelings for me. I feel like the karmic, there was a lot of guilt, like there was a connection there. They had built things together clearly. There was family or other people that that karmic was able to rope in to get this person to, to do, what, to get this person to be persuaded. Because I feel like, again, this person lost their business, they lost their home, they lost their, their identity altogether. And it's because they thought, well, either you're going to come back and fight for them, or and then the karmic will shoo you away. And so it puts this person back on top, like the king or queen. And then that didn't happen. It's like no one, there was no buffer for this person. And so what they see is that karmic was still playing the game, but you never played the game. The thing is, you held back. And in the fact that you held back, this person saying, well, I could be my true self with a person like you. You don't need me. You're not crazy. But that karmic became crazy because of them. So it's again, this person, they struggle with codependency, and they're afraid of letting go of their old coping mechanisms. And part of the games that this person plays is that it's like, well, I'm going to try and pin one person against the other. I'm going to pretend that that I'm going to be the martyr, because I feel guilty, but I kind of have feelings, but I have stronger feelings for you. They're more passionate. So we see again at this point that this person is in a place where what comes around goes around, and that's why they're like, well, now they're realizing who you are. But you're tempted to disconnect from this person, and also from like whatever spiritual you know belief that you had about this person. But your connection to this person is again the spiritual one, where that's why it says, don't be tempted to disconnect from source. Our connection to source is the love and healing we require for reunion. So it's again, it's almost like you don't want to, because this person exposed themselves and these feelings overwhelm them and they become afraid. So what is they run away because of it. And it was easier for them to have this karmic and to sit there and let that karmic or you do all the work. And that's what they don't want to look at. That's again, that's why they're like, oh, you can ask me questions, and those questions clearly make this person look shady, you know? And that's the thing. I'll contact you when I'm able to. Right now, my life is too complicated to bring you into it. But know that I want to talk to you. Yeah, they want to talk to you now because, hey, their life is falling apart. They have no life now. And so, like you said, what comes around goes around. And so that's the issue. So now they're going to come back and they're going to say, well, you show up in my dreams and it helps me bury process memories. Well, guess what? I'm sure that you do, but I feel like it's because this person is, they're not healed. They wish they wish that they think that you're mirroring them, you know, where you're holding back and you're mad and you're this, like, but they don't understand that I feel like you don't look at them the same. So it's almost like this person feels like, oh, now that that didn't work, it's okay that I come back here. And so it goes back to where this person doesn't want to look and see how they participated in their own downfall and what they did to you first, because again, you probably wouldn't have been in a connection with someone that, was still connected. They made it like they were leaving that person, but the truth of the matter is they were never leaving. They were going to make that karmic make them leave so that they didn't look like the bad person. And that's the issue. They listened to that karmic too. They didn't listen to themselves. And so, and knowing damn well that they were trying to make that karmic jealous by saying, well, should I leave? And this person, and talking about you to that person, deliberately trying to get underneath that karmic skin. So the karmic knew everything that this person had planned. So I'm feeling like this person lived with somebody that it was almost like an open connection, an open marriage or an open connection, like where, yeah, they would hook up from time to time, but it was, that your person wanted to come and go as they please. So they were never really planning on leaving. Thing is, your person acted like that karmic was a friend. So they lived together almost like they were friends, where what happened is this karmic gave this person bad advice. And there's a lesson, and the lesson is that where this person's like, well, they don't know how you feel now, and they want you. They're like they feel like they don't deserve your love, and they're worried that you're gonna leave them when you really see who they are. The problem is that I feel like you already see who they are. But there's a part of this person that I feel like because they were connected to that karmic and able to live like an open connection, that they're a little deluded in what they believe that they can have. It doesn't mean that you would allow this person to do that. But what it means is that this person just kind of feels like, well, if you really have feelings for me, and it's like, and I can come back and I can tell you what I think that you want to hear, and I can leave out pieces of my story, which it's again more strategizing. This person's not honest, but do they think that they have a chance? I'm not going to lie. Yes, they think that they have a chance, but they have a lot of unhealthy habits and behaviorism. So what's running them is the fact that they have a lot of passion and desire for you. And again, and so it's a lower energy because there's no intimacy. What we see here is a lot of strategizing. We see a lot of, I want to come back and tell you what I want to tell you. I don't want to tell you everything. I'm gonna go like I'm gonna die not telling you. I don't want anyone to know, but that's why I feel like the karmic is making sure that that they were ridiculed and tore down in like public so that everybody knew because this person cares a lot about their reputation. They didn't want to look like the bad guy leaving that karmic. They didn't know what they wanted. So they ran away from facing their problems and decided to stay connected to the karmic, which was an unhealthy attachment because they're codependent. And so they became reliant on somebody that hated them over time. And here it is, this person is thinking that they're so smart, almost like they're too big to fail. And they're telling this person that they want to be with you. And that karmic is like, yeah, you think that I don't know that there's something that they're hiding. It's like this person thought that they were going to hide everything from you, that karmic was never going to go anywhere. And but the truth of the matter is that karmic was hiding something from your person. So that was the thing. It was like a lot of, of that, where this person acted like they didn't care when deep down they really did. And so now all of a sudden they're afraid of losing you, but childhood wounds are influencing their actions because again, they're connected to somebody that they actually thought was a friend and is has not been their friend in a long time, that was able to put the knife in their back. And so now they're like looking around and they're seeing like, I wish I could fix things between you because there's a part of this person that doesn't know, but understand that's the whole point of why this karmic keeps putting obstacles in this person's way. Because again, that karmic knows, oh, you're just waiting. You're just waiting to contact this person until things like calm down. You're just looking to run away from me as soon as, again, like things calm down, where it's like that karmic's like, they'll never calm down. It's like, again, there is someone keeping me from you, and that's that karmic, and that's what this person's going to say. But the truth of the matter is, that's not what happened. What happened is that they sat on the fence for a long time, and that karmic finally pulled the plug, said, well, you're not going to sit here and eat my food and stay in my house and be here and not give me anything, where they got smart and they were like, well, I'm not going to leave because I'm comfortable. And hey, maybe I might want to go back to the karmic eventually, but I like you. I have passion and desire for you. So they thought that they would be able to dip out and come back. And that karmic was like, no, because hey, you're going to express to me how you have feelings for somebody else. This the karmic had enough. It was like, it's like, it's not even like it wasn't an open thing. It was an open connection, but I feel like while this person was connected to you, they cut that karmic off, sitting on the fence, and wanted it to be staged almost, that you would come in and fight for them. And so then now it would be a triangular thing where, everyone's fighting for this person, which is what this person wants to leave out. They don't want to be honest about that. And it's like this person battles inner demons, and it comes back to the fact that it's again, they know about the betrayal, but they're still going to try and come back for you because they don't know what you know and what you don't. They also don't know whether or not you can't prove it, and so that's the thing. This person actually thinks that they're doing you a favor because hey, you're the first person that made me feel this way. Normally they don't care, but the truth of the matter is that they sabotage this connection because they run away because they knew that they couldn't live up to your expectations, and they couldn't as long as that karmic was there. So they want to leave out a lot. Do they want to come back? Yes. Do they want to fix it? Yes. But what we see here is somebody that's very selfish, very one-sided, that didn't heal anything with that karmic, wants to, that karmic is going to destroy them even more. And so they have nowhere to run. So now they want to run to you. But their life is too crazy right now, so they can't, because that karmic would expose where they are in their life fully, and this person doesn't want to tell you everything. They're going to say that person kept them from you, but at any time they could have left. It's like, that's the issue. So it's almost like this person wanted to wanted to, like, there's you're this their secret desire, okay, that there is a part of this person that has that. But the problem is, it's like there's too much confusion because they have vulnerability issues, and they can't, and the vulnerability is because, hey, they weren't living like a life that was up and up. They're connected to somebody else. So the thing is, you would have to look beyond the romance, because it's not that this person wouldn't come in with romance. They come in with romance. That's not the issue. But the issue is they want to fall head over heels, and it would just be a shallow relationship, creating a lot of drama in your relationship, where this person again doesn't is not transparent about their intentions fully. So it went over time, it would be like an entanglement where you're connected to someone that doesn't give you what you need. They're connected to someone else, and they're like, again, really just wild at heart, don't really want to be in a connection at all. They just want the perks of being in a connection, and that's what it is. So again, in a distorted way, does this person have feelings for you? Yeah, they do. But what we see here is a person that goes from one relationship into another relationship. It's not healthy. They coming back, yes, they're coming back, but they're going to come back when with nothing. And because again, that karmic is going to make sure, and they're not going to want to be fully transparent to you, because then you're going to be like, well, why do I want to be with a person that doesn't really have anything and wasn't here for me and stabbed me in the back, but because someone stabbed you in the back, you want to come back to me. It's like that's what you're dealing with. And so you have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? You're a mirror of whom, what comes into your life. Like, what is the spiritual reasoning? So we'll pull six, right? That's one, two, three, four, five, six. Okay. And what we see here, first card out is neglect. Second card out is play. Third card out is overwhelmed. And then we see self-love. And then what we see is again shame. So that's one, two, three, four, five. And then we see vulnerability. Okay, so I feel like, you know, if a child grows up in an environment where they're neglected because they're shamed, you know, makes you obviously feel not good enough, not worthy. That's what that feels like when you're shamed and you're neglected. So you didn't have a good self-esteem about you, because we see self-love, like you weren't taught that. So you were never really coming from your true sense of self, because who teaches us how to treat ourselves as really our parents, right? So if our parents, love themselves and they're nurturing to us, then we feel supported, and then we know what we have to do for ourselves, what self-love really looks like. And self-love isn't just about taking a bubble bath, right? It's about feeding yourself, growing yourself, becoming yourself. And that's by doing things, by grounding, but you were neglected, you were shamed, you were made to feel like you were bad. So again, you were taught that to be vulnerable was not safe. Don't trust, second chakra imbalance, right? Because you're overwhelmed. Children need to be able to go out and play, because that's how they find themselves. That's why when you ask children, you say, what do you want to do when you grow up? And they say, I want to be a fireman. I want to be, a dentist, whatever it is. I don't think anyone's ever said, I want to be a dentist. But, nevertheless, it's like, the imagination goes. Children dream. And if a child like dreams and feeds that dream, well, by the time that they're 12 or 13 or 15, and they've been playing with and doing and becoming whatever it is that they've been putting the energy into, you have someone that's pretty amazing, right? It's like if you see a kid start to play the piano at 5 and now they're 10 or 11. Hey, they have 6 years and they're pretty good, right? Is if they love it, if they have that connection to it, that love. So again, we feed ourselves by becoming ourselves, but we have to be vulnerable. We have to trust. We have to be vulnerable enough to be authentic. But if every time you were authentic, you were shamed for it, and that could be like, oh, you might have said you wanted to be a holistic health coach. I don't know why I just heard that. And someone said, oh, that's not a nurse. It's like, that's not really a great job. Or if you have one of those types of jobs that are not conventional, not conventional, if you're not a conventional person, and it's the way that that parent talks to you, it's the way that you perceive that parent views you. So obviously there's not really a strong attachment style, and there's not really going to be a strong sense of self either, because you were taught not to trust from a young age. So we can't get rid of negative energy. We have to integrate that spiritual energy. Can't go back in time and say, my parents shamed me. They made me feel bad because of what I look like, because of something that I did, something that I said, something that I'm into, or just for who I am, made me feel bad. It's again, and they made me feel bad by emotionally not giving to me, not showing up, neglecting me, making it like I was invisible. So, of course, it would be extremely overwhelming for a child, where a child then would say, well, it's not safe for me to be vulnerable. It's not safe for me to be transparent. It's not safe, which is actually all the energies that this person that you were connected to displayed, because by them not making a choice, they never had to be vulnerable. They wanted you to make the choice. They wanted that the karmic to make the choice. The issue is no one made the choice. The karmic finally made the choice for them, which was to say, well, you know what, there goes your life, because I'm not playing this game anymore. So what we see here is that where you listen to your inner authority. So what comes with that neglect and shame, by the way, is, you became very disassociated and detached. So again, you went in your mind. You had a very strong connection then to spirit. And so the child that survives thrives. And it thrives through the fact that, you're very spiritual. You can make things happen for yourself. So what I see here was a karmic test, where this person really wanted you to come and fight for them and save the day, because that would have really been like a hoot for them. Know that, because what it would be is that your life would have fell apart. Their life would have fallen apart, and it would have put that karmic right back in her place. Like, because the karmic didn't want to let go. Karmic held on for a long time. They're finally letting go because emotionally they haven't gotten anything from that person, and they're tired of it. They realize what that person's doing, that the person doesn't really want to be there, that they're playing a game with them. They want them to pull the plug. So they're like, you want me to pull the plug? No problem. I'm going to pull the plug. They just didn't think that your person, I don't even want to call him your person, the person that's connected to you didn't think that that would happen. They thought again that they were too big to fail, that that would never happen. And so Spirit says, again, it's about knowing, use your passion now to fight for what you believe in, stand your ground. Don't let anyone come into your life and try and tell you who to be, what you deserve. Again, hold boundaries. Remember, right now, what this is like your spiritual sovereignty, fighting for who you are, being connected to this person. They didn't want you to be who you are. They want people to give to them. They want people to feed them with energy. That's why they set up that dynamic. They don't give anything. Spirit says, use your time and your energy to become who you need to be, and understand, don't let anyone come into your life to persuade you where they might say, may try and make you feel worried, like saying, well, it's not really going to happen, whatever it is that you're doing or trying to create for yourself, that life that you're trying to create for yourself. Choose me. I'm your person. Like is what I feel like this person's going to beg. And the truth is, the matter is that Spirit's saying, in divine timing, everything happens. You don't have to choose this person, but be patient, like with the fact that the universe is conspiring a way to make a way where there is no way just for you, that the right people, situations, and experiences are going to play out in the right time to help you integrate all facets of yourself. That's why you had to go through this, because hey, you had like fragmentation from how you grew up, growing up with a parent that neglects you, shames you, makes you feel bad, makes you feel not good enough, and that makes you, we form habits and behaviorisms that are in alignment with those perceptions. If someone's yelling at you like that every day when you're a child or making you feel that way, then what happens is you don't speak your truth. You don't have a good confidence then about yourself. And from going through this experience, what happened is that you gain the deep wisdom to actually like release the limiting beliefs that no longer serve you, and realizing, well, it's my beliefs, it's what I choose, really, and that you're really a strong person. Spirit says acknowledge like what you have overcome in your life. Most people that grow up in that environment where they're shamed and told that they're bad and neglected, that's psychic trauma, psychological trauma. So making you feel like you're not worthy of love. So what you settle for, where spirit says now it's all about you going into the unknown, where, you know, true growth occurs for you, so that you can see yourself differently, so you can meet people, like, and so that you can find really what's going to fill your heart and soul. It's about you just loving yourself right now because you teach people the way you want to be treated by how you treat yourself, is what Spirit's saying. So this time was all about you integrating that, meaning I am worthy. I am worthy of love. I am, important. I am deserving of. I don't need to be shamed. I don't need to feel. This person would have brought that shame back onto you, by the way. That's what they were trying to do by sitting there and, sitting on the fence and waiting for either you or this person to, like, to fight for them. They were never going to leave that person because they can have their cake and eat it too with that person. So they would be putting you in your place. That didn't happen. What happened is that their little plan backfired on them. And really, the karmic did it, and they didn't expect it. And they certainly didn't expect, their entire life to fall apart because of this. And it's because you did not play the game. So I'm gonna pull one more. This was an ugly story, like this person is like, again, it's shady, and they're still shady. Serenity through love, release, and inner work, no peace. Have a gentle view of life and welcome every step with confidence and remain brave in the face of fear and have the wisdom to let the universe do its work. And that's what you did, because you're like, I'm not taking the fall. Like, you want me to fight for you, so now I have a problem with the karmic, and then you're not even going to stay with me. You would wind up staying with the karmic, and you'd be happy because, again, you thought that my expectations were too high. You didn't think that you could give me what I needed. Well, because you don't want to let go of that person. Like, there's a lot that this person's not telling you. They're in a different place now. Their life is crappy. So they're like, I don't know what you know and what you don't know, but you know enough, is what Spirit says. So be true to you. I'll never tell you what to do. This is a collective reading. So some of you guys will say yes. Hopefully, most of you will say no to this person because their intentions are not really good. And remember, a person that doesn't put their time and effort and energy into cultivating a relationship Well, they don't really have an emotional connection then. And so when a person doesn't have that, it's easy for them to betray you. This person has issues already with doing that. They would not have a problem later on to do it again. They're in survival mode. You're their desire now. You're their want, but what leads them is the passion. And that's what they've always had, that connection, that passion. But when you don't feed, a connection that you are passionate about, there's a fine line between love and hate. So remember that. I'm going to leave that there. Let me know how you resonate. Don't forget to give this a like. Hype it if, it's good karma to hype the video. Share it with friends that need healing so that they can too learn to heal the effects of trauma. And until next time, be true to you. Bye bye.